Alright, what's going on YouTube? We're back with some more Baldur's Gate 3 class mod videos. This time we're taking a look at another Final Fantasy inspired mod. This is the Final Fantasy Samurai Aeons. This is inspired by both Final Fantasy X and 14. This class is a little interesting, as with other Final Fantasy class mods I've shown in the past, this relies on a lot of combo potential. With the Samurai class, you use one attack that gives you a buff per se, that lets you gain access to other attacks, and if you chain these attacks together, you can use sort of an ultimate attack. So it may not seem like you're doing a lot of damage initially, and that's just because you have to chain together the right attacks. And I'll try to explain that as we go along. So at level 1, when you first pick the class, you will get two actions. And I'm going to butcher these names, and I apologize in advance. Sue me. The first one is called Hakaze. This is you attack a foe, dealing slashing damage, and you gain Genkai. Genkai here is another ability that lets you perform I think it's Aijutsu, basically like slashing damage, quick draw damage attacks. I can't really pronounce it, and I apologize for that, but essentially it performs quick draw actions with the blade. So that's the first action that you're going to get. The second action is going to be called Shinten. Use Genkai to attack a foe dealing slashing damage. So as you can see here, the first attack, Hakaze, it uses an action point, and it gives you the ability to use Genkai. The second one, Shinten, doesn't do as much damage. However, it is a free action, essentially, because you have that Genkai resource. We'll call it resource because it's a little bit easier to memorize. So you have that resource available to use this attack to follow up without an extra action or bonus action. As you may see, the attack damage may not be as high as you initially think. However, these combos are free, so you'll build up damage over time. You get two class features here. Again, I butcher these names, I apologize. I think it's Aijutsu, which is when wielding a versatile weapon with two hands, the number you need to roll a crit hit when attacking is reduced by 1. This effect can stack, so you can use other items to basically like decrease the number of, die roll that you need to get a crit. And then the second one you get is Dancer. Dance among your enemies. While not wearing armor, your default armor class is 13, and your movement speed is increased by 10. The armor that I have is I think it's classified as either light armor or light clothing. But then again, you can use armor depending on your class to get a little bit more buffs or anything like that. In terms of abilities, again, I will go like Dexterity as your main one for katana usage, especially with one of the abilities that you get a little bit later on. And I know I'm rambling here, but this is sort of important to state. So I would go with Dexterity and maybe Constitution as your second. Wisdom, you're really not going to need that much of, honestly. I don't think Wisdom's really going to give you much, so I'll probably go with Constitution, Dexterity as like your two main points. Again, you can dabble with this as however you like. I know some people don't like having odd numbers, but it doesn't really bother me, especially since we're playing on Trials of Tav. A lot of these really don't matter in terms of conversation points as much as combat. So I would say Dexterity and Constitution would be the main ones that you put points in. And then everything else is just based on your preference. So we're going to go through a level up process, and then I'm going to do a combat demonstration. I'm not going to go through the entire combat process just to try and save a little bit of time, but I'm going to show clips of me going through combat, sort of showing the abilities as they're supposed to work. So all that out of the way, let's go ahead and actually start the level up process. You do actually get a katana starting out. Just a basic katana, does 5 to 11 damage. The armor or clothing that I'm wearing, and I'll put this in the description as well, is called the Dragon Flame Ringala. It's legendary clothing, so I do get the bonus AC from the Samurai class, both the mask and the robe itself. I just think it looks pretty cool. It kind of fits the overall build, especially like the little flame aesthetic at the bottom. It's not very powerful, as you see the armor class is 10, but it looks cool, and, you know, style over substance. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the level up process. At level 2, we get a health increase, and then we get 2 more class features. This one is called Tengetsu. This is a reaction that you can use to attack enemies that attack you. And then we get Third Eye. Reduce slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning damage by 1d4. Pretty strong. And then we get another action. This is Inping. You attack a foe dealing slashing damage. This is just your basic standard attack. Later on, this will enhance to allow you to do other actions. At level 3, we have access to 3 different subclasses. I'm not going to be going over the Aeon Rama subclass because I think it's a little bit broken with one of the other mods that I have installed, so I'm not going to be showcasing that one today. As the title suggests, we're going to be going over the Aeon Yojimbo, which I believe is from Final Fantasy X. I don't think he's in 14, but I haven't played 14 in quite some time. And with this, you get access to a new action as well as new abilities. The first one you get is Aeons Gift, Yojimbo. You summon the Katana Matsumune, and I'll showcase that towards the end. And then we get a bunch of new actions. We get Jiofu, which is you attack a foe doing slashing damage and gain Genkei. So this is another way that you can gain Genkei, as we demonstrated earlier. Gekko. Use Genkei to attack a foe dealing slashing damage and gain Sen. Grants the buff Fusen. So we can go ahead and take a look at that. Sen is another action that's used to manifest the blade or use other actions. And then Fusen is you know how to best use the advantage of your katana to attack, so I believe this just gives you an attack advantage. I would wish if they do update the mod, this give you like actually what the buff does rather than just highlight over it with like fancy wording. I get it, it's cool, but at the same time it is a little annoying not knowing exactly what a buff does. Anyway, you get another action called Higan Bana, I think is how you pronounce that. You can spend Sen to partially manifest Yojimbo and make a slashing attack that will apply slash vulnerability to unsuccessful hit. So again, we demonstrated what Sen does. Sen allows you to use certain abilities, and then slash vulnerability, you gain vulnerability to slashing damage, so enemies will hurt a little bit more. That does take a bonus action. And then after that, we have Gilton, which you use it Hyatsu to teleport, attacking a foe, dealing slashing damage. Hyatsu is another resource that can be used. In order to get that, we have the Enhanced Impei. When you use the Enhanced Impei, which replaces the regular Impei, you get the resource Hyatsu. So again, it's all kind of coming together. These attacks will be formed together to chain other attacks until you do like a finishing blow. And I'll try my best to demonstrate that in combat. At level 4, we just have a ability improvement as for I guess a feat, if you will. Usually I go with ability improvement, buff up my dexterity. At level 5, we get extra attack, we get an extra resource, and we get extra reaction point, and we get 2 more actions. The first one's Kasha. Use Genkei to attack a foe, dealing slashing damage and gaining Ka, which grants the buff Fuka. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And then we get Genkei Goken. You can spend Ka to partially manifest Yojimbo to manifest slashing damage that will stun enemies on hit. So you can use one of the 2 resources to do like a partial, I guess, ultimate attack that deals different things. One gives you slashing vulnerability, the other one gives you stun. At level 6, we get another feat. Again, gold ability improvement, pretty simple, just to get that dexterity up to 20. At level 7, we get another class feature. We get Maelstrom Dancer. Dance like the wind amongst your enemies. Your default AC becomes 13. Movement speed increases by 20 feet. And you become immune to critical hits. Really, really strong. So you can no longer be crit. Really, really strong with this class. Especially like such almost early level 7. It's actually pretty strong. You get 2 more actions. Madaire's Setsugeka, I think is how you pronounce that. Again, I apologize. This expends both your Sen and Ka to manifest the full essence of Yojimbo, which does 12 to 33 damage. It's a bonus action. It takes 2 bonus actions to use. And then we have Kaishi Sekugeka. Again, I apologize because I'm butchering them. You can spin the Sumambe Gaishi to manifest the full essence of Dagigoro. Again, I apologize if I'm butchering these names. Essentially, these are letting you manifest the full resources to do sort of like an ultimate attack. These are going to be your more damaging abilities, but you're going to have to go through a certain, I guess, flow or chain of attacks to actually access these attacks. So just be aware of that. At level 8, we just get another feat here. We can go with ability improvement if you want to get our constitution up, or if you want to get salvage attacker, just do a little bit more damage potentially. That's always good. At level 9, we get another class feature. This is Tengetsu 2. No rest for the wicked. Once per long rest, if you drop down to 0 hit points, you gain 1 hit point instead of being downed. Essentially, this is like the berserk or orcs that have that, basically that last hit. You won't die immediately. You'll get 1 hit point to withstand a hit. It's okay. I mean, I would definitely prefer to have like maybe like a higher crit chance rather than just not being able to go down, but it is what it is. At level 10, we have another feat, so we're just going to go ahead and pick another feat here. Alert is really good just to get like a little bit more initiative, so you can go first. At level 11, we get an action here. This is called Gaiten. It grants 100% hit and critical hit for 1 attack. once per short rest, so I would definitely save this to unleash your ultimate attack. This does also work with reactions, so be mindful of that if you use it towards the end of your turn, and then you pop it, and then you go into like a reaction. This will use that ability as your one hit, confirm hit and crit. And then level 20, we get our last feat. Here, you can just bump up Constitution to 18 if you want, or if you have a necklace that bumps it up past that. If you aren't going to bump up your Constitution and go with a necklace or item that bumps up your Constitution, something would be really good is maybe Durable is pretty strong if you want the short rest, or I would say Tough if you just get a little bit more boost to your HP. Other than that, it's your choice. Probably here because I will be using a necklace. I'm just going to go ahead and get Tough, which will boost up my HP quite a bit. So once you use Long Rest, you'll get to use the Aeon gift, Yojimbo. And there we go, we received the Matsumune. It just kind of give a little bit of the flavor text here. This katana grows more powerful as the wielder gets experience. Each time you level up, you get a weapon enchantment. This has +5. You get an armor class of +1, dexterity and wisdom, the +2. So you see our dex is at 22, our wisdom is at 13. Again, you can go with wisdom if you're not going to go with constitution, and you plan on using like a necklace or any other items that boost these. In a perfect world, I would probably say constitution would still be a little bit better over wisdom, but your choice overall on that. And here are the abilities here. Again, I'm going to go through combat to kind of showcase each one of these, but the way that this class plays is that you're going to have to use these abilities to attack, starting out with, say, like, Inpei, right? You use Inpei, that goes into... Where is it at here? Sorry, they kind of, like, mix these around quite a bit. And then you can go into Guilted, right? Which allows you to teleport and attack. However, you're expending your attacks here. You do get an extra attack, so you can use something like Inpei to get Hyatsu, and then you can use Gyofu to gain a Genkei, and then from there, you can use Gecko, and this is how I kind of like the level line up my attacks here, and that gives you another attack for Sen, and if you want to use your Sen for partial damage using Higabana, this allows you to give slash vulnerability, or if you want, you can use your Genkei to get another action for Ka, and if you want to save your Sen and your Ka, which you can do that, you'll be able to release like the other attacks here. So again, it sounds a little complicated than I'm making it out to be. Essentially, you just need to use the right attack order and be mindful of your bonus actions in order to get the full extent of this class and its combo and damage potential. So again, I'm going to try and showcase a combat scenario. I'm not going to showcase the entire thing, but just kind of highlight exactly how to combo these abilities and use them to its full potential. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And I'll try and do the showcase for the other two Aeons as well. The reason I'm not doing the first one is because I think it's a little bit bugged with another class that I've been experimenting with. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen class. It's a little buggy with some other classes that interact with it, so I need to get that separately. And that will be in a future video. So if you're looking forward to that, please subscribe and hit the like button and all that YouTube drama, blah, blah, blah. And I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.